Alright, so in this video we're going to check out Super Falcons and their numbers for the upcoming FIFA Women's World Cup. The FIFA Women's World Cup will kick off tomorrow morning, and that's Thursday the 20th of July, while the Super Falcons will play their first match the next day. That's Friday the 21st of July. That'll be against Canada, 3:30 a.m. Nigerian time. But with that being said, please don't forget to like and subscribe as we go into these numbers. Thank you very much. So we start with the number 1 jersey, and that's Osinachi Ohale. No changes there. She has been number 1 for the past couple of tournaments. Not the number 1 goalkeeper, that's Chiamaka Nadoze, but she keeps the number 1 shirt. Then you go to number 2, Ashley Plumpter. Ashley Plumpter actually wore number 4 at the last Women's AFCON. That was her first competition with the Super Falcons. Now she's wearing number 2, a central defender. She has also played as a fullback for the team. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen in this competition, and that would mean the fullbacks we got right now will stay healthy and on form. Then you go to number 3, no changes there. Osinachi Ohale with the number 3 jersey. That's a normal number. No changes in that situation. Years and years in the number 3 shirt. Also a central defender wearing a fullback's number, but she makes it work when she plays for the team. Then you got number 4, Gloria Ogbonna. That was definitely not her number at the last competition. The last competition, the Women's AFCON, she wore number 12, and now she's wearing number 4. Don't know where the change came about from, but she's wearing the number 4 jersey for this competition. Next, we move on to number 5, and that's the captain of the side, Onomer B. Number 5 for the team. No changes in that situation. But at number 6, we do have a change. Ifeoma Onumonu on the number 6 jersey. She was number 9 at the last competition, but we got Desire Paranoze back in the team, so I guess she laid down the number 9 and picked up the number 6. Then you move on to number 7, and that's Toni Payne. She's been wearing the number 7 ever since she joined the Super Falcons, and no changes now. We move on to number 8, Asisaro Shwala with a regular number 8. She's worn the number ever since the 2014 Women's AFCON, and you remember the Under 20 World Cup, she wore number 4, and before that with the Super Falcons, she used to wear number 17. Now next up, we got number 9, and that's Desire Pardo wearing the jersey for the first time in a big competition since 2019. That was the World Cup in 2019. Then you got number 10, Christy Uchebe, takes over the number from Rita Chikwelu, who wasn't invited for this competition. Christy Uchebe was number 23 in the last Women's AFCON. Now she's number 10. So that number is always going to bring on pressure when you're talking about football. But I am backing Christy Uchebe to have a really nice tournament and prove that she's one of the best midfielders in the world. Next, we got number 11, and that's Gift Monday. Gift Monday moving from number 2 that she wore at the last competition, the Women's AFCON. Now she's wearing number 11 at the World Cup. I feel like the way she plays at times, hugging the touchline, running at defenders, number 11 kind of does fit Gift Monday. Moving on to number 12, and that's where we find Uchenna Kanu. She's actually changed the number from the last competition. She was number 6 at the Women's AFCON, but what's funny is that she was number 12 at the last World Cup, so she's basically going back to a World Cup number. Next, we got number 13, and that's Deborah Biodun, Pittsburgh University midfielder. First ever competition for the Super Falcons. She's actually wearing Ngozi Okobi's number, and you know the story went, she replaced Ngozi Okobi. Next, you got number 14, another player playing in their first ever World Cup, first ever competition for the Super Falcons. Tosin Demehin, central defender for Stade des Rams. If I'm not mistaken, she's been wearing number 14 ever since she joined up with the Super Falcons, so no surprise there. Number 15, no surprise also, you got Rashida Tajibade. She's been wearing wearing that number ever since her first competition for the Super Falcons. That was the Women's AFCON. She wore it at the World Cup, wore it at the last Women's AFCON, and she's going to keep the same number. You got number 16. Speaking of keeping your numbers, Chiamaka Nadoze been number 16 ever since she joined the Super Falcons. That was before the 2019 Women's World Cup. Of course, we know she got into the team in that World Cup and has kept her place just about ever since. Then you got number 17, Francisco Adega. Speaking of not changing numbers, Francisco Adega's been number 17 for a long while now. Number 18, another player who didn't change her number, Halimatu Allende, central midfielder for Rosengard in Sweden. She remains number 18. Then you got number 19, a player also is going to be playing in the first competition for the Super Falcons, Jennifer Echegini, wearing the number 19 jersey. And that kind of makes sense because she's kind of like a 10 and a 9 at the same time. All the same, she's all about goals. Moving on to number 20, Rofieri Moran, and she's number 20, fullback for Stade Rams. At the last World Cup, you had Chidima Okeke, who made a name for herself as a bright young star, and you got Rofieri Moran wearing the same number, and the hope is that she has the same amount of success in this competition. Then we got number 21, Esther Okoronkwo, playing in the first competition for the Super Falcons. The forward got injured before the Women's AFCON, was an instrumental part in the team qualifying for the Women's AFCON, but she got hurt, did not play in that competition, and now she's back with the team. If I'm not mistaken, she's been wearing the number 21 shirt ever since she came back from injury. Then you got number 22, which is Michelle Alozier. She actually changed the number from the last Women's AFCON. She wore the number 20 jersey in that competition, but now she's number 22. Then you got number 23, which is Yewande Balogun, the third choice goalkeeper for the team. She was actually number 26 at the last competition, the Women's AFCON, and that was because there were like 26, 28 players allowed to come for the competition, but now only 23 players. She gets number 23, and those are the numbers for the Super Falcons going into the Women's World Cup. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.